Caribou are North America's long-distance walkers, spending their entire lives on the move. This far north, the winter days are short, and the caribou use the daylight hours to search for food. This winter herd consists mainly of females and calves. They're part of the bigger George River herd, Canada's largest, which numbers an impressive 500,000. When not moving, caribou spend much of the day with their heads buried in the snow. The males have lost their antlers, but the females keep theirs throughout the winter. As mothers, they need to be able to protect their excavations, for beneath the snow they find a lichen known as reindeer moss, which is rich in energy and the main winter diet for them and their calves. Unlike other deer, a caribou muzzle is completely furred, a necessary protection against frostbite, and their legs have a built-in arterial bypass that keeps heat in the upper body where it's most needed. The herding instinct increases with the lengthening days, and the caribou become more purposeful in their travelling. This is the start of the Great Migration, as they prepare to leave their wintering grounds and journey towards the open tundra. Reunited at last. The mother sees her chick for the first time. She's keen to start parenting, but the father needs persuading to surrender the chick he's been caring for all winter. He must now put his chick at risk. In these temperatures, it could freeze in seconds. The male will have to let go. Eventually, the transfer to the mother is safely made. The chicks grow quickly on a diet of fish and squid. Soon, they're keen to explore, but always with mother in tow. This chick is less fortunate. Its mother has not returned to claim it. Another orphan is searching for a new family, but this female already has a chick of her own. Some orphans receive too much mothering from penguins whose own chicks have not survived. The urge to parent is so strong that they will compete with one another to adopt any chick they find. Many of these squabbles end in tragedy, as the poor chick is trampled to death. Those chicks that do have parents quickly learn survival skills. Even in spring, they must huddle together for warmth, just as their fathers did in the depths of winter. A group of chicks has got lost in the blizzard. Cold and disorientated, they search for the colony. It will not be long before the storm claims its first victims. By early summer, the chicks are surprisingly well developed and now look ready to take on the world. Those that survive their first year have the best possible start in life, thanks to the extraordinary hardships endured by their parents. Parents who battled with the Antarctic winter and won. If animals are to work in a team, they need to be able to communicate with one another. And sometimes it's possible for you to communicate with them. Oh! Wolves howl to warn neighbouring packs to keep their distance, but they also do so to reunite their own pack if it's got scattered after a long hunt. And as they assemble again, they visibly delight in one another's company. This pack too, like that of African hunting dogs, is ruled by an alpha pair, who are the only ones to breed. But there's also a strict hierarchy among the other members, one for males and one for females. This is reinforced daily by mouth-licking, crawling and mounting. These rituals become particularly intense just before the pack leaves on a hunt. It's a bonding session that reminds each hunter of its place in the team. Invaluable in the struggle to come. And off they go. Those distant dots are their targets. Elk, the North American equivalent of the European red deer. Snowdrifts will make the chase difficult. A wolf's pads are particularly broad, but in really deep snow, the elk's long legs give them the advantage. And in such country as this, there's little chance of taking them by surprise. So the chase is likely to be a long and exhausting one. One of the stags is flagging, and the pack have managed to separate it from the main herd. Another sprints past close by and confuses things. Most of the wolves stick to their original quarry. They have, after all, been harrying it for some time, and it may be tiring. But it's got away. Another wolf is chasing the stag that ran by them earlier. But that escapes too. Only 1 in 10 wolf hunts is successful.
We've confirmed at least one tiger is in the reserve, but a single tiger doesn't make a viable population. Usarisk only has a future if tigers are breeding here. We need to find more. Russian technology helps us deploy more camera traps across the reserve. We set cameras where Victor thinks tigers could pass. But it's not just tigers that trigger them. Over several days, we continue to put out cameras and scour the forest for signs. Finally, we get together to see what we've captured.
Okay, guys, are you ready? Here we go. Just goes to show that the camera is actually working. Okay? Moving on quickly. This man is going to have a heart attack if I don't show him something interesting.
Then, our first glimpse of the animal we've been looking for.
Look at it. Oh my God.
This footage is incredibly rare, and it's the first time many of the Russian researchers have seen shots like these.
What, sorry?
Repeat. Show him again.
I know I am. Look at that face.
Ну вот смотри, вот раз, вот он ошейник.
It's Banzai, a male tiger previously collared by Victor. Away from his usual area, Victor thinks he could be searching for a mate.
So he's sniffing around all the time, getting used to the environment.
Yeah. Never a dull moment. They're always very active. Their metabolism is very high. No such thing really as a fat Wolverine. And they don't hibernate like a bear.
So they just keep going all winter.
That's right. They don't have much time. It's all about survival, you know, and Mother Nature doesn't give an animal like this a lot of margin for error.
As scavengers, most of the Wolverine's diet is dead animals. Creatures that have perished in these extreme conditions. And to find their food, Wolverines take advantage of one of nature's most destructive forces: avalanches. As snow thunders down the mountainside, mammals are often buried beneath. It's thought Wolverines can sniff out frozen carcasses, even deep beneath the snow. To test this out, Helen buries some frozen meat deep in the snow. She'll return in a few hours with Jasper to see if he can find it, just using his sense of smell. Before that, she's got a demonstration to show how our noses and the Wolverines work. It involves an orange.
When I sniff the orange, it's really strong, this one, is that the scent molecules from the orange are going up my nose, and they're going up to the top here. And there's a structure up there that's called the epithelial membrane, and that is where the odour detectors are.
It's thought smell works like a lock and key. The scent molecule is the key and will only fit certain locks. The odour detectors. We have 400 different types of locks, but scent molecules can hit many combinations of these receptors, so we can identify thousands of different smells. Most mammals detect scent in the same way, but for Wolverines, it's all about sensitivity. Detecting the tiniest traces of scent, even deep under the snow. So let's see how Jasper gets on finding the buried meat. They start several hundred meters away and let Jasper choose the course.
He's smelling things right now, Helen.
And it's not only what's on the snow, it's the air drifting past that he's smelling.
He picks up a scent quickly, but is it the right one?
Oh, having a bit of a sniff here.
He definitely knows there's something here. He's on to some scent there for sure.
Those big paws are pretty efficient, aren't they?
Yes, yes.
He looks like nothing would get in his way, isn't he? He's shifting a lot of snow.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go! He's got it!
He got it. He found it.
Wolves. These in northern Canada are the largest and most powerful in the world, and they're setting out to hunt. The pack is 25 strong, a sign that the prey they're seeking is formidable. These bison are even bigger than their southern cousins and the largest land animals in North America. For generations, wolves and bison here have been shaped by their battles with each other, making each the most impressive of its kind. The bison will not stay long among the trees. They're not safe here. The wolves are closing in, but their chance of ambushing the bison in the woods has passed. Their prey are now in the open and grouped together for safety. The wolves will need to work as a team if they're to make a kill. They circle the herd, trying to unsettle it and split it up. But the bison are armed and dangerous. They will be safe as long as they stick together. The wolves up their game, harrying the herd, a ploy to trigger a stampede and split away one of the smaller ones. The bison form a defensive circle around their young, horns pointing outwards. The wolves need a bison to break rank. But the tables are turning, and now the wolves have to retreat. The pack focus their attention on the rear of the herd, and the bison begin to panic. A young bison falls behind. Even this yearling dwarfs the wolves. Running head down, the herd's only thought is escape. A stroke of luck for the wolves. The kill will feed the pack for several days, but then they will have to resume the chase. At the frozen ends of our planet, the struggle for survival never eases.
The battlefield's enormous. Its size makes the polar bear a perpetual nomad, trekking 15 miles a day and up to 5,000 a year on ice that's constantly moving. Our story starts down there in the ice and snow. It's spring, and a new life is about to see daylight for the first time. But not until this female tests the air. She's been holed up for nearly 6 months, and she doesn't know what's out there now. There could be danger, and she has something precious to protect. When she went into the den last winter, she was 50% heavier and alone. But she's not alone now. She has a cub. One cub. It's his first experience of the wider world. The first moments away from the warm, dark safety of the den. He was born in January, just over 3 months ago. The world he came into was small and cramped. He had fur, but his eyes were closed. He wasn't any bigger than a guinea pig.
Also roaming far and wide in the extensive forests here are the elusive snow monkeys. But winter shrinks their feeding grounds, making them easier to spot.
Ah, there they are. Wow. Just below us, look at that. Oh my God. Okay. Big. We are so lucky. This is brilliant.
That was amazing.
How about that?
Out of nowhere.
This is exactly what I was saying. They're feeding in the top of the pine trees. You can see this one here actually has a pine cone in its hands. It's just nibbling away to get at the seeds that are inside it. And they're all just perched precariously over the top of the water, aren't they? It's fabulous. In fact, once you get your eye in, there's dozens of them. There are, yeah.
You can see how the actual waves almost crashing below them, clear water.
Yeah.
And monkeys above it.
I know. It's such a bizarre sight. You know, I've filmed primates all over the world, but there's nowhere that it's like this. You know, there's nowhere where they're living in a place where it's so cold, so challenging.
The monkeys here are the most northern dwelling primates in the world.
Blizzard cam soon attracts a bear's attention. It's something new to play with. But polar bears play rough. And retreat is the better part of valor. Fortunately, Blizzard Cam has a decoy. Its spherical shape makes Snowball Cam far tougher to crack, although just as intriguing. As the bears return to fighting, Snowball Cam can roll at will. This is Bear Fight Club, a chance to test their strength and practice moves that one day they'll use in earnest. Snowball Cam is right in the thick of it. Soon they'll be fighting over females. Then things will really get serious. Now they even have time for a game of football. They should enjoy it while they can. Soon, they will be rivals. It's the price of growing up.
Pregnant polar bears are also on notice. At this time of year, they're desperate for seals. But seals aren't desperate to be eaten. They have the fat the bears need, but that fat also allows them to escape under the ice. This leaves a bear waiting at a breathing hole, hoping a seal will eventually use it. A tactic that works about one time in every 10. This is one of the other 9. One time in 10 is enough, though, for the bear and her followers. She can't let the success rate get any lower. If it does, a pregnant bear's project is probably hopeless. It's not only herself she has to get through the winter, but 2 growing babies. Not until she sees the sun again in spring will she know that she ate enough fat in the summer. It's a gamble. The only way a female can win it now is to settle into her den and push her body to the limit. Outside, the male bears keep on hunting. As the ice sheet expands, their travels to find food will get longer and longer. But to get through their winter, the females will have to travel through time. To save energy for her babies, a female has to cut her own energy use almost to nothing. Special hormones slow her to a standstill, and she goes into a deep sleep that will last for months. She won't eat, drink, or defecate. She'll just lie there and get ever thinner.